Hey YouTube, Kenny coming at you today. We got the 93 Banshee and we're going to be doing a couple changes. We're going to be making it bigger and better in this video, but we're also going to be doing is button up a few things that my boy had some issues with. But if you enjoy this kind of content, hit that like button and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that the next time I upload a video, you all will be notified and you can follow the build along with me. Let's jump right into it. All right, everyone, you all have to remember the freaking 93. This thing is absolutely insane. We put so much attention to detail into this thing, getting it built and everything. But what we're going to be doing today, the biggest thing that we're going to be doing, I think there's 4 or 5 things we're going to be working on for my boy. We're going to be taking that 350 out, throwing in that 421. That's the biggest thing that we're going to be doing. 421 coupled up with some 35 Keans, and we're going to be taking out those that 350 with those 28s. Both of them have V-Force 3 reeds in them, so we're good there. We're going to be swapping out this, take the OEM Stator side cover off, and we're going to be putting his purple one on there. That's going to be coupled with the freaking tuning forks and the custom powder coated illusion purple. That's great. We do have his uni filters and some more pink lines that's going to go on it. So that's the first big thing that we're going to be doing. That's the big thing. Smaller is he did reach out and stated that some of his staples were coming out and his staple gun didn't have enough oomph. So that's why I have my staple gun sitting here to remind me of what we're going to be doing. Next, we have some ITP tires. He stated he really doesn't love these. He has ITP on the rear. He loves those. We're going to be throwing the whole shots on the front as well. So it's going to be completely matching set, looking absolutely wonderful. And then when we have everything off, we're going to figure out why or what's up with the DC conversion. Because the lights should come on, but they don't. And that's just something simple, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to get that all figured out too. And be good to go. You know, I do think that we're going to put the Pingle valve on there as well. And we're going to be getting rid of that long one there. Make sure we get enough fuel to this bad boy right here. So it's doing what it should do when it's supposed to be doing it, right? So let's go ahead and get this thing taken down. I'm leaking, but first things first. Just go ahead and get the seat off. That's easy. And go ahead and shoot a couple staples in there. So we're able to get that where it should be. So yeah, these couple ones aren't holding. So sitting like that, you see that little bit of black from the top. We're going to do our best with got a lot of tension on it, just to roll that edge over. Thing one fixed. That's easy. So we're gonna go ahead and put this up. Man, this is a beautiful seat he's got on there. Thrill Seekers, he definitely did a great combination with the purple and the pink and the white. I mean, this thing is great. And boom, my man representing Fayette County Sheriff, West Virginia. So we're gonna go ahead and put this up. So we're taking the plastics off.
I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name.
All right, so moving along, 30-40 minutes, got the motor taken out. I stopped taking footage there for a little bit because you all know what it looks like to tear one of these down. But what you haven't probably seen is two of these things sitting right here. Like that, looking good. Out with the old, in with the new. Going to swap a couple things over just to give it a little bit more character. So what I'm going to look at trying to get over is the purple. We're going to try to get that purple breather line over. That's going to go over to here. We're going to get the kicker on. And one at a time, I'm going to take these studs off and put the pink ones up there. And then we're going to go to the other side. Make sure we get our shifters taken off of both, and then get our stator side cover over to here.
Everything up that I've ever done, but what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be, and do you believe we can do anything, but what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move for it, what you gonna be.
So we went ahead and got these motors, got the thing swapped off, got our side cover on here, got that one off, got our spikes on as he wanted and our kicker. I just went ahead and put these plugs and stuff back in it so that I can take it out there and wash it off and have it looking nice and clean and send him a few pictures before we get it installed. But let's go ahead and put the camera around, let you all see some up close footage of it. Then we're going to get it installed into the machine, get the chain back on, connect hoses, and start just getting this thing reassembled. Now, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Got the spikes. I think this was the Peacock that we used. And, you know, it's got the kicker's been used, but, you know, it still looks pretty good. Doesn't have to be new because we're going to get on there and start kicking again. But this one's going to get tore down. Going to get powdered and back to stock. But this one here is about to go into its new home. Now, 421 has slightly bigger dimensions. You know, with the longer crank and the cool head and all that, it might be a little bit more of a challenge to get in there, but we're going to see what we can do without having to take anything out. And I'm hoping that the brake pedal fits as it should, because sometimes those things have to be tweaked a little bit as well. But we'll figure it out right here. All right, so I just placed the motor in for right now. I'm going to set the camera up and we're going to do some good voiceover. But for the most part, I'm just going to start reassembling this thing and getting it to where, you know, it's all in there and the carbs and everything are installed. So we got our clutch cable. Go ahead and get that in there. Put that into our bracket. All right, so our 421 is officially installed. What I need to do is go ahead and get like the Nerf bars and things like that on there. And that way I can get the carburetors and things on. And then I can just have all that tightened up. See, like these bolts here are not in there in the motor. The upper bolts. They're not in there because they hold the Nerf bars on. So I need to go ahead and get those on so I can get them secured and all that. So we're going to go ahead and get that done really quickly. Then we'll have this thing sitting on the ground is what my plan is going to be. All right, so we got the 421. I'm freaking picking my nose first. We got the 421 in there, and it looks great. Looks absolutely wonderful. So we have our, like I said, our carbs are authentic Kians. They're installed and looking real good. We need to run our lines and everything, but I did just put in this little bottle that I used to put a little bit of fuel in it to see if I'll be able to get it to start. And yes, I did kick it a couple times, and yes, it did kick over. Let's see. Does what it's supposed to do. We don't have any exhaust on there. I just wanted to make sure it fires. So now that we know that that is that, we can go ahead and take this gasoline setup that I have right there off. We'll be getting the dual Pingle put into the fuel tank here in a bit. Need to run to the mail and see if it's there. But everything else is installed and nice and tight. We got our Nerf bars back on there nice and tight. Got our hardware and everything going back around there nice and secure. Our motor mounts and everything at the top and below are there. Shifters where it should be. I think I do need to tighten that one up. I need to tighten that one up on both sides. I need to put, what are those, clamps on the carbs. Put the air filters on. Fill up the radiator. And then we're getting close to just putting the exhaust and everything back on and seeing what it's going to run like. All right, so we have the machine pretty much ran as you saw. We're going to pull this off, but I did go ahead and put some hose clamps on down there to secure that, and we're going to be running the rest of the lines here in a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and just put these boots down on top of the carbs. I need to actually not put those on there because I need to tighten down those nuts so everything should be where it should be. So we're going to come back up here. He's running engine ice, so we're going to go ahead and just top that off of what he has in there. All right, so my man has some pink line. He bought a whole bunch more. I'm gonna get some pieces cut, get those on the carburetors, and just come right back when I get that done. All right, so we have our lines installed. Still haven't taken this off because I am gonna try to install it or get it started once I get the pipes on. Yeah, we're putting T5s on. T5s are pretty small for 421. It really kind of stands out since I had done my other one and I have shears on it, and then I have CPIs on another one. I have some CPIs up there that I already have sold to someone else. But the T5s is what we have for now. We're going to just see if we can get it jetted pretty good with this, but it's still going to be a lot more power. All right, so we have the first thing knocked out, which was the seat. It's done. We now have the 421 in here with the 2V5 pipes, looking absolutely wonderful. Starts up, no issue. All right, so we took this thing down the road. It runs really good. I did have to play with the jets. I have it at a main of 130. Now understand it does sound super lean. The thermostat didn't get hot, but we are running T5s on here, so it's not something crazy. We're not running a gigantic pipe or anything. And we do have the 35s on it, but let's see if we can get it started up. So we're good there. We got our 421 in and our T5s in there. It's hard to compare these things to different machines. So for the ones that I've been building, for the most part, are pretty stock. This is completely beyond stock. This one is faster than what he had in it before with the T5s and the 350. Definitely is faster than that as well. However, I have a 421 with the CPIs, and it has the MX hardcore port, and it has, I think either 18 or 19 cc domes, and on 110, it isn't as fast as that. The pipes do restrict it some, but overall, it's still a crazy great ripper. If he wants to end up getting new pipes, I'll probably be buying these. But if outside of that, my next thought is we had three or four things to get done. One of them was the seat. Seat's done. Second one was the 421 install. 421 has been installed. Next one is the front tires. We need to get those swapped out. And then we need to check the DC conversion and figure out what's going on electrical. I'm pretty sure one of the cables just must have rotted or broke loose or something, because we don't even get any. See, like with the DC conversion, the thing is that you're supposed to be able to have beams that don't flicker, and you'll be able to have your headlights on for a couple minutes afterwards. We don't have no headlights at all. No headlights, no taillights, no nothing. So I'm assuming somewhere in the wiring circuit or the headlight circuit, something is either disconnected or broken. So we're going to check for continuity of the wires. I don't really know how to get footage of that because that is a long, boring process. If I do find out which one's broken, I will probably just record that. But as far as going through every single wire and all that and the DC conversion, we'll just jump through that part. So let's just go ahead and get these front tires taken off and get the new ones put on. All right, so I came out here to the shop a little bit ago, turned the lights on to see the machine. We're going to go ahead and get those front tires swapped out today. All right, so we're going to get down here real quick, and we're going to get the lug nuts on this broken loose. Now, I don't use an impact on these just because they're powder coated, and you want to be as delicate as you can with these ones. Some people would go a size up on the ratchet, and then some people go a size up on the ratchet and put some kind of like cloth or like shop towel or something on there. Really won't hurt, but as long as you don't impact them anything right now, you're good. Now I can use the impact wrench now to take the rest of the way off, but yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. So impact, here you go. All right, you see, there was none of the impact. It was just really coming off. So this didn't hurt the lug nuts at all. They're good. Still got our anti-seize on there from before, so these were no problem coming off. We're gonna just jump over there, get the other side done off camera, come back once we get this thing lifted up and the tires taken off. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the lift table. Lift this up, see if the tires are gonna fall off. Wheel number 1's off. Wheel number 2 is off. All right, so we got a Harbor Freight tire changer down here. The biggest thing is with these Alba wheels, there is no lip down here. There is no lip down here that locks this on. So you don't have to break the bead back here. And then on the front, the bead is just held on by this. So overall, what we got to do is just let a little bit of tire pressure out and push this down far enough to where it's going to be manageable taking it off. So that's about all we're going to do. I put this right here just so that this piece of metal and that bolt doesn't scratch up our powder. It's actually just like a thick welding glove. And it's just going to allow me to put some pressure on there without messing anything up. But we'll get a little bit of air let out and get that rolling. All right, so as we saw that this is off back here, so it will move with some pressure. But we're gonna go back to the front side, and I'm just gonna use my impact and just remove these 10 millimeters. So that's it. Pry this out of the rear. You got me on? I'm still on. That's that. Good to go. Wheel on. Got our 2 bolts in there just to keep it from rotating. This right here is just protected some. Got our little holder there. You can stop it. So my man is a matching freak, so we got some new ITP hole shots that we're going to be putting on there. It's simple. Very simple. That's it. Wheels are on, everything is on, push down. We're going to get our ring seated back on there. And of doing all this, this is the only tedious part, is just getting these back on there. So basically the only thing is I try to start off the side to one off the side to a valve stem, so you're not trying to deal with one behind it. And I basically just go around and try to get them started on there. Realistically, you don't have to have it in this device anymore either. So man, my beard is crazy looking right about now. We got those tires done. It was kind of, well, that one done. It's kind of tedious to just show me putting all those little bolts in there and everything with the 10 mil. But we got those in there. We're going to take a quick look at the comparison between the 2 tires and what we decided to go on with. Then we're going to do the other one off camera, get them both remounted and reinstalled, have this thing sitting on the ground, do a quick walk around. So like we said, we had the Radial XC tracks. These were the 21710s. We got the ITP hole shots. I'm pretty sure they're the same 21710s. Looking absolutely wonderful. So these are going to match the rears that he had, which we did get new. So basically he's going to have a new set on there. Overall, these are not a directional tire. These are not radial, but they're great. I do have them overinflated right now just to make sure I don't have any leaks. I did put them down with some soap to make sure everything is, good and not leaking. Then this one we're just going to go ahead and get done. So next time we come back to this, it's just going to be sitting on the ground, and then we're going to tackle our other couple issues. So we did not wait. Didn't take us any time. We have the ITP wheels on here. Man, these things look great. And as I stated, they are a little overinflated currently, just because I want to make sure there's no leaks. So tomorrow I'm going to come back down. I didn't see any bubbles, and if they have maintained their pressures of about 30, we'll be good. We'll know that these have no leaks, and then we're going to drop them back down to somewhere around 6 and 8. Now, I did take my tape measure, and I measure across the front and the rear to check my alignment pretty decently. So I want to make sure my handlebars are pretty straight, and they are. But what I tend to do is I'll go across the bottom to one of the outside lugs, if I can find one. See, let you all see it. See, I'm on the outside lug over there. Hard to do it with one hand. Then when I measure down to here, we're shy of 39 3/4. We'll come across the two front lugs here, same area, come down over here, and we're a little bit past 39 1/4. So it's about a 1/2 inch of toe in. I could be a little OCD and tweak it in a little bit more, but as long as it has toe in and toe out, it'll keep it steering pretty straight and good going down the road. One of the things I am going to do a little bit jetting, a little bit more, but what I have noticed is that this carb does have a small drip there, so I am going to probably put a new needle in it and new jets, and I'm also going to put a new stopper plug. I don't know what that's exactly called. So we're going to go ahead now. We have a few things done. I keep on trying to keep track of them, the things that we're doing. Seat, check. 421 install, check. The other thing, the jetting and all that, that was included in the 421, so we ain't really worried about that part as being done. We wanted new tires on it, check. We have the dual Pingle valve that we're going to get installed in here in a minute. That's going to be the next thing. And then the other one is we need to check the electrical system to figure out why the lights quit working. And then we'll be getting this one closed up. So, I mean, it looks wonderful. I took it outside, sprayed it off a little bit, get some of the handprints and all the gunk off the tires. But as you see, a little bit of dirt on there, that just is what it is. Just from rolling it through some gravel. But, man, this thing looks wonderful. I mean, I can't even state that it does not look great. So we got the new tires on. They look absolutely great. Cleaned the wheels up a little bit. Got a little bit of that brake dust off there. I mean, what else can you say about this thing but just compliment the workmanship? You know, I know a guy who did it, but, you know, he does great work, but, you know. But anyway, today was kind of like a tire today and yesterday. We got these ITPs put on there. We also put the Doros on the 06 SE wheels. Also, I'm not over there in the corner. I have them covered up right now. But they're my Baja wheels that I have for sale that are going to be replacing these. Those are going to be going on the Banshee, probably the 01 that I'm going to be doing. But the Baja wheels are now going to go on my Raptor. But yeah, it was good. Just a quick public service announcement. My kids did go inside a little bit ago. But I was able to have my son out here with me for a few hours, and I really try to get him out here and interested in these things just so I can get him off the video games, because if you're watching this and you're my age and I'm in my late 30s, we grew up in a different time, so the electronics was a little different. I never dreamed of having to sell my son's Raptor 250 and my daughter's Raptor 125 because they had absolutely no interest in them. I mean, we rode a crappy go-kart and loved it. Then we had like a TW 200, which was rough. And we were riding around with our friends on these YZ 125s and all that. But, you know, we have the FL350 now. Kids not have much interest in them, but I'm just trying to get my kids interested in something else so that, you know, we can raise up some young men to be strong. So if you have a son and you're watching this, get your boy out there with you. And if you want to do some things, it's great. If you want to get your daughter out there with her, go ahead, do your thing. But, you know, I want my son to be masculine. I don't really desire that. Yeah, I'm not getting into that. So let's jump right back into it. So our next thing we're going to go ahead and tackle is our Pingle. So right now what I do have is my OEM tank with my OEM valve. I keep saying my. Reason being is because I took my boy's tank off right here. And it works well. But this is one of the things I want you all to be aware of. These cheaper valves, you can spot them from a mile off just because the design of them, you know, they drop lower than the tank. I didn't know anything about this until somebody let me know. And, you know, they kind of stick out there. So I don't really think that there's I don't have a direct problem with them at all. The problem is quality control. This one's a cheap one. And this one's a cheap one. But look at the size of the valve on these two. So one is definitely getting more fuel than the other one. So if you're going to run a risk of blowing something up, starve for fuel is going to be this. This one, not as much, but you're still going to have it hanging lower. Now when you take these ones and compare it to the dual Pingle that we're going to be using, now you have two of those. Two of them that size, one going to each carb, no T. So you also have a much larger inlet up here versus the smaller one here. So this is going to feed our two carbs, our two 35s. We're going to go ahead and get his tank modified to be able to go ahead and accept that Pingle, and then we'll get that tank, his tank on there, and get mine off of it. And then give his baby a nice good wash. I like washing them. So we have our tank here and our valve that we're going to be getting installed. The gasket, the old one, because we're just going to compare it to the one that's in there. Well, the bigger, we're going to compare that to what's in there. Well, we're just going to go ahead and get it taken out, and hopefully it's pretty simple to just get that swapped. Oh, just large Phillips. It's more one of those tips that, I don't know what the Japanese tip is, but if you get a standard flathead and you file it flat on the end, they fit in there a lot easier, a lot better. It fit in there better, not a lot better. Well, let's see if we can get this. All right, so that's out. And as I stated before, in comparison, see how the bores are so much different in size. So that's off to the side. We'll take our gasket up there and use one of these screws I have here to kind of just mark my area. Not really sure how easily this stuff is going to cut out with a box cutter, but I just wanted to see it before I took out the real. So that's pretty out of there. Maybe just trim it up a little bit, clean it up. And we'll just see if that'll fit. Yeah, really close. I'm just trying to not have to go in there and get a whole bunch of cleaning after I get, you know, a bunch of chunks of plastic stuck down inside of there. So we have our gasket, we have our new valve. The valve faces towards the inside, back towards the carburetors. So typically, hopefully I don't have to take this down and apart. Typically you want to put all that together, I guess, while it's there, but we'll see if it spins any. So I just basically put it in there at an angle, twisted it a couple times with the screwdriver, and it went right on. Looks like the same thing I'm going to end up doing with this one. Looks a lot better, and it's going to function a lot better as well. So we're on off right now. Looks good. Kind of got them angled towards the back. Let's go ahead and just get this tank on there. Now these cables had already been cut for a Pingle, so hopefully they just line up pretty easily. They're not too short or anything. So we got the Pingle on there. Got some fuel in it. Let's see if, there we go, running through our lines, filling our cables. I think that carb, make sure there ain't no pinch or nothing in it. And we'll get our cap back on. We're good. Upgrade. All right, lighting's a little different. Freaking power went out, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Another day out here with the 93. We have the dual Pingle on. Works absolutely perfect as it should. Power's out. It was kind of like a tornado warning or something like that in the area. Trees went down, took some power lines out, so you might hear some wind. But what we're going to be doing today right now is just really quickly troubleshooting the electrical system to figure out what was going on with the DC conversion. If I have anything wrong in what I say, please correct me in the comment section. But I'm, for the most part, thinking I know what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and I'm going to let you know what I believe and what I'm thinking, and we'll go from there. All right, 421. Maybe, does it look any better if I put it up in the sunlight? Or is it just going to be super glared? I don't know. So we have our stator and everything here, but once we started the machine up, we had no lights. So what I decided to do was I came over to my shop and I had an extra battery that we used. This is the same kind of battery that you can buy with some of these other standard DC conversions. So I put it here. I went up to the front because I'm not 100% sure which one's positive and which one's not right yet, just off the top of my head. And I disconnected the positive, and I'll go ahead and just disconnect the negative wire, so the battery is completely disconnected. How it works is the lighting system, the stator has been floated, the lighting system wires come up, and they'll go up to here to the voltage regulator and do what it's supposed to do up here in the voltage regulator and charge the battery. Battery then sends current back through this wire back into the OEM wiring headlights, and then it'll send the power out to the lights. So it goes from here to there, back around to here to the headlights. So the theory is, even though it's getting current from the stator, what I should be able to do is just bypass and put these two wires into where the stator would plug in. So like I said, this is my stator that was inside of this one. And his is a little different from where we had to use the different wiring and things like that from when we made this little thing custom. But I'm going to go ahead and just try to plug, sorry, the vision's going to be a little off until I get it plugged in. So we have the lights plugged in. So in theory, instead of getting power from the stator and the lighting circuit, it should get power from the battery. If we get the headlights, all right, headlights work. All right, so that makes it easy. So the issue is not the battery or the rectifier or any of that stuff. All that stuff is wired correctly. For some reason, it wasn't getting power from the stator, so we're going to figure that out. Let me go ahead and just get this battery back down here and snatch these cables off, because if these cables bridge across each other, you know, I got kids. That's going to be a waste of my battery and something might be getting burnt. So, I'm going to come right back on. All right, so as I stated, sorry about it getting a little darker in here. But we went over to our motor that we have, and I went ahead and used my flywheel puller, pulled my flywheel off, pulled all my hardware and stuff off. They said this is going to have to look completely different. I'm going to get all this blasted and cleaned up, new seals and whatnot all on it. But we went ahead and took the stator out. And what I found was, freaking kids out there, one of the wires was rubbing the stator, and it rubbed through right there. So the lighting system was grounding itself out on the stator. So I'm going to replace these wires right here, these two blue wires, put it into the machine, make sure it runs correctly, and if it does, we're good. If it doesn't, we'll know we just need to get a new stator because we fried something. But we'll figure that out here shortly. All right, so we're back. We have the new, with his stator back on. We have our new cable on there. You see the blue cable is there, and we went ahead and put a yellow one on there as well and took the two blue off. New, more higher quality cable. And as you see, it will clear now without anything touching where the flywheel is going to sit. So what we're going to do is see if this cover is convenient. We're going to see if we can take this off, replace the stator and everything without having to pull all this other side off. If it does work, we know that that is a great product that's going to be highly recommended in the future for these kind of things. But if it doesn't, it isn't a great product that's going to be highly recommended. Okay, so this product, what do I give it? I will give it a solid 8 just because I still had to take out these pieces of hardware down here and loosen up this one. This is the one that gives you most problems is because it's down here and you can't get to it. And in order to get to it, you'd have to take the Nerf bar off, the heel guard part off. We don't want to have to do all that. So this still allowed me to grab right here and I could flex it forward a little bit and get that plug out. Now you'll see we'll go ahead and get the other one back in. So this is the part that I had to flex a bit to get it in there. And so that plug pretty much needs to go straight in. So I had to have to do that. And you couldn't do that with the other hardware in there. Does it make it horrible? No. It definitely makes it convenient. That you don't have to, that you can get to it without having to take all that apart. So that's a huge plus. So would I run it? Yeah, I'd run it. Lucked out and got our Woodruff key right there on top. Man, she looks good. really sure what it is about those needles, but I put in there what Arnold said. The only thing I don't like is I would probably put a different foot shifter or peg on there. That one is just so close underneath, but yeah, and we're not getting hot either, so that's good. I mean, every time we come out in the yard, the dog think it's time to freaking play. And she's out here looking and waiting. You wouldn't even think this is a boxer. You think it's a hound dog by the way she acts. But I'm not 100% sure where we're at with the Banshee, the 93. We've done so much stuff to it lately. So basically what we decided to do, all right, so here we are sitting outside. Man, the beard looks crazy at times. But we have the 93 sitting out here in its completion. We've gotten the things done that we said we were going to do. 421's installed. Wham. Then we have the dual Pingle. The carbs have been jetted. I did reach out to Arnold McCoy. He's definitely great with these things. I has the DE needles in it. We got the CEL needles put in there. 421 with T5s, and we're running in West Virginia at about a 155 main and a 48 pilot. One turnout on the air fuel screws. We have 35s on it. He did decide he wanted to do some uni filters, so we have that on there. We have the ITP tires on there, and she looks good, and she's done. So like I said, we did replace the battery with one of the same simple style ones that we had on there. If it doesn't hold charge and we have issues later, he's probably going to want to upgrade. I know that there's other ones that you can buy, other batteries of course, but I'm not sure what's going to fit in that area. And you got to be kind of careful with just buying any battery. Every battery is not the same. Some of them are meant to keep a certain charge, like lithiums. If you put a lithium in here and you want to use it to run something like a DC conversion, I assume it'll be okay until the charge drops. If you get it below where it should be, those fry those batteries. Deep cycle batteries and Odyssey batteries, I've had a couple of them in like Raptor and Razors and things, and they did great for their purpose. They're meant to be drained all the way down and charged back up with no issues. But ITP's on the front, looking great. 421 with his Stator side cover on there. DC conversion, all that's good. We got the electrical issues solved. We put the spikes on it that he wanted, put it all reinstalled. 35s on there, T5 pipes. If I didn't just say the dual Pingles on there. And I think that was about it. Yeah, I mean, the other little things are small. Like, you know, I did throw some more staples down in here and fix that down there. But let's see if we can get this thing over on one kick, hopefully. You know how it is when you're trying to do something with a phone. Yeah, looks great. I'm impressed with it. Like I said, I wouldn't have been able to get this jetting done right if it wasn't for Arnold. Working with the DE needles or DEL needles, whichever ones, seem to be more of a challenge. But from now on, I will say I'm going to recommend the CE or CEL. I can't remember exactly which ones it is. And the jetting seemed to be a lot easier. Because I had the jets all off crazy. I had them like at 130s, and it seemed to have ran well, but the pilots were down to a the pilots were down to a 45, and it still seemed super rich, as well as the needle was all the way at the top, which meant the clip at the top mean the needle as far as down as it would go. But you know, here we are. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get this one back over to my boy. Man, that wasn't a good shot there. and getting the other 421 back. Soon we'll be finishing up the 99. But yeah, I'm happy with where this is. If you enjoy this kind of content, hit that like button and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that the next time I upload a video, you'll be notified and you can follow along with us in the future. All right, let's keep it rolling with the next one.